we will have we have our seminar split in two parts. The first part will be an explanation or of references of this mission, and the second part will be taken over by the governance projects that will give you an information on what is already going on, and the other thematic projects that are in the process of being launched on this mission. Okay, just to start, it's always good to have an outlook on where we are. So we are talking about the fourth call. It has been opened not even 10 days ago. It will be open until the 12th of June. You have a lot of, in the meantime, a lot of activities while you are preparing your proposal, a lot of support that we will partially provide from our side. As you can see, we will have seminars on the partnership logical framework, later on the work plan and communication activities, mandatory activities as well, indicators, investments, and the 17th of April then budget eligibility of expenditure and state aid. So then we will have an open seminar mid-May, 16th of May. If you have particular questions concerning these thematic, these technical issues, better to put it, budget eligibility, work plan, partnership, please, we want to give you feedback here now in this seminar on the thematic issue natural heritage. If you have other questions concerning these topics, please wait for these seminars to get your feedback there. Or there's a lot of information also, of course, on our webpage and in our manual. So a lot of information is already out there. Okay, then after the submission, we will have to instruct your applications, and hopefully we can select them in February 25, so that more or less in 1 year we will have the project started. And in the meantime, concerning the preparation phase, we also have national info days that are prepared by the national authorities in different countries. You have all this information here on this slide, and you should also, of course, not refrain from. I have also frozen somehow.
Want me to share?
Yeah, I don't know, but because for me it's now a little bit. There's nothing going on. I want to push the slide, but no. Okay.
I share?
Yeah, can you share, Judith? Sorry, my computer is somehow overwhelmed with this. Okay. So Judith is sharing. Okay. Works better now. Thank you. Yes. This is now the events that are already on our webpage. So this is always good to check also there, because if there are some updates, they will be published on our website concerning this call. Then we are going to the concept of the mission natural heritage in terms of references. So yes, I think we can continue. Yes, this is the concept of the missions in general. As you can see, this program is dealing with missions. Not all the programs, if you know other programs, other Interreg programs, who have the concept of missions. We have 4 missions. Missions are helping you to have a portfolio of different projects, so they are aligned in a mission. These 4 missions here in this program are concerning in general innovation, innovative sustainable economy. Here we're talking about the whole name of the mission is protecting, restoring and valorizing the natural environment and heritage. Then we have green living areas and sustainable tourism. So these are the 4 missions of the program. And yeah, then we are don't only deal with missions, we also have specific objectives. Specific objectives is something that all Interreg projects are dealing with. So the ones that have been chosen for this mission, this mission is coping with, are the specific objectives 2.4 and 2.7. Both of them are aligned in the priority Greener Mediterranean. The topics, the closer topics of 2.4 is promoting climate change adaptation, disaster risk prevention and resilience, and taking into account ecosystem-based approaches. This is one of the objectives that is shared also by another mission, green living areas, and tourism, that sustainable tourism, that is sharing all the specific objectives of the program. 2.7 is...
Sorry, I don't see the screen. I don't know if the others can see it. The share screen.
I see the screen.
I see the screen as well.
Yeah, I also see the screen. Yeah.
Sorry.
Me too.
Yes,
Okay.
we see the
you.
screen, but the voice, there is a stronger noise on under the voice. It's if you can try to correct a little bit, because it's hard to follow.
Sorry for this.
Is it an issue, this noise, for other participants?
Not really.
Okay, so that might be an issue on your headphones or...
For me, it's okay.
Okay.
In general, it might occur that we have some technical issues. We had a previous seminar and we have experienced this. So we try to cope with what we have. We already had to try to find a backup on certain situations. But for now, it is working. So we are continuing with what we have. So yes, this is the 2.4. The climate change oriented specific objective, and the 2.7 is targeting protection and conservation of nature, biodiversity, and also green infrastructure, and in urban areas, and also reducing all forms of pollution. This one is only shared with the mission of sustainable tourism and natural heritage, what we are discussing now. Okay, we are also referring to the context, as you are not developing your project in an empty space. So we're giving you references on what your projects could build on. This is, of course, the previous program results. You can check out the library that is still online, of course. And also for this, in particular for this call, we have identified some interfaces with other programs that are not necessarily only targeting territorial cooperation. This is Prima Horizon, LIFE, and MFAF programs. So also there we are giving you some information, or this you have in the terms of references. Also, of course, in the slides that will later be at your disposition. And of course, all the other Interreg programs that are targeting the Mediterranean or beyond, you have a valuable input. Here you have the KEEP platform or the Interreg EU platform that gives you some information on what you can build on your project. Okay, now we're going to the content. Here we have, we had already, as you know, we had already the second call that was targeting thematic projects. I'm taking up for the first, in the first part, what we have for the first specific objective, which is more climate change oriented. We have now identified with the projects that have already been, or that are in the process of being launched right now, the first, to put it that way, wave of projects, and then some feedback with consultations that we had, open consultations, specific consultations. So we have identified the targets of this fourth call. So for this specific objective targeting climate change, we have identified disaster risks. It should be, in that case, more oriented towards coastal resilience and floods. And we are looking for a natural solution. So this means, okay, we are, okay, here we are still, but okay, I have to check from another screen now because my screen is also abandoning. I'm sorry for this, somehow. Okay, the second part is, so this was concerning disaster risk. Thank you, Judith, for all this support. The second part is climate change, adaptation, and resilience. So in that, on that issue, we wanted to target on cultural landscapes, biodiversity loss, and the topic of urban and non-urban connectivity. And the third issue that we wanted to highlight for this call should be awareness rising and environmental culture. And here we are proposing water accounting and citizen participation in biodiversity monitoring and management, which could perhaps be interesting issues for this for the topics to be targeted by 2.4 under this call. Yes, here I'm already giving an outlook on how you can develop finally an output, which is the major one of the major results, to put it that way. We have a technical issue between output and results, but the major product, to put it that way, of your project. So this is taking up. We have somehow simplified in general for this program, for the whole program, the idea of outputs, because we didn't want to complexify too much. And the idea is now we have solutions and we have strategies concerning solutions. This is a little bit giving you an ideal workflow for developing a solution as an output. It starts with a challenge, a solution that is elaborated and then tested. And finally, this is then the transfer part of developing this output, upscaled to transferred to other partners. We have some, these outputs should be aligned, of course, to the issues that are in the focus of this call. So this means, in general, we are talking here about all these solutions. They could be, they could target assessing, preventing, monitoring, or managing risks. Also improve climate change resilience, always with connection to ecosystem-based services. And then, if you think of the issue that has been in the center of the previous slide, also concern natural and cultural heritage, sustainable agriculture, landscape and forestry models. Then also methodologies could be a solution. And in that case, we are going to the issue of awareness rising, and could go to the topic of citizen participation in management and monitoring approaches. All these, of course, are indicative to illustrate indicative outputs. So there could be other ones coming up according to your proposal, of course. Now, the second possibility of outputs are strategies. Also here you have an ideal workflow that could start, for example, with the identification of a relevant strategy on the EU level, and then there's a methodology to implement such a strategy, and you have specific objectives, targets, actions, a time frame on the spots, and finally clear actions towards taking up the joint strategy action plan by organization. So this is an ideal workflow, but of course also this can be handled according to your topic. And then concerning the strategies, you can have different outputs that are aligned to more or less official plans or documents. So you can see, for example, we have risk prevention and prevention of natural hazards, sustainable management for natural, forestry, or landscape resources, climate change adaptation, there are climate action plans, and also strategies providing support for the adoption of integrative planning, as just to give you an idea, maritime spatial planning or integrated coastal zone management. Of course, for strategies, always there is the issue is always, it could also be interesting to implement a strategy in a more or less official plan. All this is possible by this output. It is depending, of course, on your topic, and it is also here only indicative. So there might be other, of course, other settings that give you different outputs. Okay, this was taking a closer look on the specific objective 2.4. Now we have 2.7 that is more or less oriented towards the protection and conservation of nature. Just to give you now, first of all, also the outlook on the targets for this specific call. The first issue is taking up the implementation and enforcement of policies and legislations. Here we are thinking of conservation and restoration measures, in particular in the urban and peri-urban biodiversity setting. We also have, we think it's interesting to advance on species and habitats in the sense of conservation and connectivity across ecoregions. The background is that the Mediterranean is one of the regions, the larger regions that have a large diversity and variety of ecoregions. It's one of the largest in the world, and in Europe, I think we have enormous diversity, about more than 50 ecoregions. If you compare to other programs, they have 3 or 10 or so, so we are really here an issue. Another point would be the protection and preservation of natural resources. Here we are still thinking of wetlands. We already have, concerning wetlands, we already have projects that are dealing with this issue. It is always, of course, if you now in the fourth call preparing a project, it's always relevant to check out what is already out there, so that you can propose a complementary approach to what we already have. Other suggestions are water resource management and conservation, and finally restore degraded and polluted ecosystems. Here we are thinking of also in the context of healthy environment, and this is also complementary to what we are suggesting in, for example, with green living areas, green and blue ecosystems. However, with natural heritage, the approach is more from of course, from the natural resource side, while green living areas is more on the living environment side. So you can, of course, it is complementary, but it's a little bit different focus. Yes, I'm going back to outputs also on that, for that specific objective. So again, here you have an ideal workflow for a project, for example, and then thinking of solutions. So here we are in the setting of solutions. What could such solutions be? Just to give some examples. For example, they could target a sustainable management of these natural resources. Here we have the identified scope as land, sea, wetlands, urban or peri-urban. Then they could target also restoration, the context of polluted areas, the same scope. We have then solutions for green and blue infrastructures. They could be management solutions, for example, integrated management solutions of natural ecosystems, or also co-management of natural resources across ecoregions, as I have tried to explain before. On the side of strategies, again, the workflow basically remains the same. The strategies to be adapted to that priority should, of course, be also in line with the target issues, which could be protection, conservation strategies, or strategies, actions that decline at territorial level, policies for biodiversity. Then we have strategies and action plans for process of designation of new protected areas, or also for the protection and restoration of natural resources into further local and regional plans. So this is giving you, for example, an example of an interface between a more specific mission-oriented, resource-oriented, natural strategies that should be implemented also in the general planning documents. So all this is possible under this output outlook that I'm giving you, and there are also, of course, other options. This is depending on your topics all the time. Okay, this is giving you some larger strategies that are perhaps could be one of your target strategies to work with. Of course, there are others out there. They are some of them are under discussion, but this does not prevent you from already starting a project. For example, the biodiversity strategy. Others are already in place for a longer time, Barcelona Convention, and decline into different sub-strategies. But this is just to give you an outline. You know probably better than all the inventory that we can give you here. Yes, and here we are already getting to your questions. I think I'm a little bit late. Yes.
No, perfectly on time, Christopher. A bit late, but we had some technical issue. So we have one question for the moment in the question and answer place. So is it possible to consult a summary of the projects approved in the last call? I could only find the names, and I would be interested to have it so we can ensure we are proposing new approaches and solutions.
Yes, it is a matter of days, probably until the web pages of the projects will be online, I think. So this is we have already, I think for now we have only the list. You're right, but we will of course have web pages for all the new starting thematic projects.
Okay, that's the only question we have for the moment. Does some of you want to raise their hand and ask their question directly? Need maybe a little time to digest the information.
Digest, type.
Or type, yeah.
So in the meantime, I can ask if Elsa and Marilena are online.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes, we are here.
Oh, great. So if there's nothing for now, we could perhaps put the two sessions together for.
We have one.
We have one more. Okay.
From Isabel Vass. Yeah, please open your microphone and ask your question.
Yes, hello, thank you. I have a question about the output indicator and the results indicator. Do we have to choose one, or can we have several? Do we have to choose one output indicator that answers to one result indicator, or can we have one and two outputs and results?
Yeah, you have to choose both. You have outputs and result indicators. They are somehow linked. Usually we have, well, results are outputs that have been implemented and taken up. So usually we think that you have more output indicators than result indicators. You can choose several output indicators and consequently also result indicators. All this is also explained in the manual. It's a little bit complex, I admit, but we don't. It's not a good idea to choose as much as you can imagine. So really try to be focused on your output indicators as well as result indicators. And it's not an advantage if you have, I don't know, more, if you can all you can think of, really to focus on the topic of the project and what could be the main solutions that you can achieve by your project. So this is a good approach, a realistic approach.
So it's not an advantage to necessarily have all three output indicators for one project?
No, it is not an advantage. You should have propose consequent output indicators with your project approach. Okay. So if your output qualifies, there's also this information. We will discuss it with the intervention logics again, and have information in the manual what should be considered an output. If it qualifies as such an output, we appreciate if you are really developing this, if you are working on this output, and not if you are proposing a lot of different outputs, because we think it's more realistic to be focused on outputs.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe to complement what Christophe said regarding also the results we have on the last call, we have like 2 or maybe 4 outputs max per project. So yeah, stay focused. We have a new question. To what extent the call is interested in activities inside protected areas versus activities outside of protected areas?
Yeah, this is not an issue of the call inside outside. In general, protected areas are of course focused. They could improve their approach, or it could be there could be an interaction between inside and outside. It is simply as it's presented like this. The question, it is not an issue that we have more thought of a focus inside or outside. It should be a logic approach on protection goals in or outside protected areas. This is both is possible. There are also different types of protected areas, so we are not necessarily taking up one or don't know. It's not as it is like this. It's not an issue, I think.
Okay, we have another question about a proposal ID that would tackle environmental crimes, setting up best practices and legal techniques in the fight against those environmental crimes. The actions could foresee a creation of networking and exchange of best practices, creation of a digital library. Does this idea could fit to the term of reference?
It's not something we had originally thought of. I think the topic of environmental crimes so far has not been specifically targeted by the program. You should adapt it to the indications that we have given if you want to present, because as it's presented like this, it is not necessarily in the target, in the focus of this call. If you can adapt it in a way that it is, I don't know, that is fitting to polluted areas or prevent pollution in areas, or you need to explain, to elaborate this for this call a little bit more, I think. I don't want to exclude it necessarily fully, but it is not something that is automatically in the focus of the call, to put it that way.
There's no other question at the moment, so maybe the governance project wants to take.
Elsa, you want to?
There's Gérard.
There's somebody who can.
Okay, one last question. Yeah, if you want to open
The mic is closed.
Yes, I wanted to know if there is a maximum for test investment in a budget.
Yeah, we're going to budget questions. You will have a particular seminar on this, but I don't. I give you a quick reply on this. No, there is no maximum. However, there's a maximum of the budget that is funded by for each project. So the investment, and then you have to yes, you also have to implement your project. So you have to see it in the context of the project budget, of course.
I think now we're done. Let's give the floor to the governance project.
Elsa or Marilena, I don't know who wants to start from your side.
Yeah, I may start. Then Marilena will follow me. I kindly ask for if it is possible to give permissions to Cecilia to upload a video. Okay, so first of all, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity of talking on behalf of Mission for Nature. We are quite excited about this possibility of presenting, showcasing our mission to the newcomers. Me and my colleague Marilena will guide you today through this amazing set of goals that we want to achieve together with you, and that are around the objectives of protecting, restoring, and valorizing the natural resources. As you can see, I'm coordinating with Cecilia a video to make it more interesting and to make it on time. So perhaps sometimes it will be a little hard to coordinate, but I hope you have some patience. Cecilia, you can now start if you want. So, as I was saying, we are working around these objectives of protecting, restoring, and valorizing the natural heritage. And now it's up to you. You should apply, you should succeed, and then you will actively cooperate, relying on us and building this community. We will offer a chance to value lessons learned from various sources, not only projects, not only previous projects. We are a community. We will work with each and every one of you, not only with the coordinator, not only with the communication manager, but with each and every one of you, strengthening the relationship with all key actors in the Mediterranean region, leveraging existing networks, identifying opportunities, increasing visibility and impact of the results of the near future thematic projects. Just to give you a quick look on what we do, we will guide you again through the main tools that we are using. In what regards amplification room, this is the space where the core community, which of course you will soon be part of, comes together and opens to new external targets aiming at facilitating transfers. All people, sorry, Cecilia, can you stop it? I'm still in amplification room. Okay, thank you. So I was saying that all people involved in this mechanism, this tool, let us call it, will benefit from a portfolio of services. Amplification room enables real transfers of solutions and knowledge. And now, yes, we go to the forum, Cecilia. The forum is a unique opportunity to Mediterranean actors network, and an online forum has already been made available. Our mission aims at valorizing natural resources in the Mediterranean area. Thus, it is collecting tools, approaches, methodologies, results, and experiences. These resources will be gathered and communicated, facilitated through a visualization tool. In what regards the Interreg Euro Academy, it is developed in close cooperation with the thematic projects, and it creates a comprehensive educational program offering presential and online courses and learning materials. The first mission summer school will be held this summer in June in Slovenia. In screen, you have some practical examples of synergies that have been created with other initiatives, with the specific dates. These ones have already occurred, but many others will be occurring in the near future. In what regards public engagement, we have here an example of the campaign that we have already implemented, and we have a short video on it. We would like to share it with you and also to share that many other campaigns will come soon. This one was on coastal erosion.
The erosion is a natural process that made the beaches. So the erosions in the mountains brought sediments through the rivers that reached the coast, and we had the beaches.
You have to assume that the coast is the interface between land and sea, and has both the influence from land and the influence from sea. If you want the coastal system work for you, so for someone who is living on land, you have to respect all the dynamics. That includes the dynamics land-sea and the dynamics land-land.
Coastal erosion affects a lot of things. Groundwater, for example. It affects the fish. It affects marine life. it affects really a whole important part of the transition between land and the sea. And this is of very great importance for our habitat, for our quality of life.
Coastal erosion is important because that modifies the coastal line, that modifies how seawater goes into the aquifer, enters into the aquifer, and that changes the mixing between the discharging fresh water and the entering saline water. And the groundwater is releasing nutrients to the coastal ecosystems, but nobody pays attention on that. It's only rivers, treated wastewater, and groundwater is not included in the management and the understanding of coastal ecosystems. And we have a lot of problems because many beaches are disappearing. In other places you have bigger beaches. That affects these water flows between the land and the ocean. Not only the rivers, but especially the groundwater. And it changes, yes, it's changing.
We need more a new approach that means better coordination between the river management and the coastal management. And we need also a multidisciplinary approach to get projects that link knowledge from geomorphological science, from coastal management science, from biological, from in general, also water engineering. So all this can help us to face a kind of challenge that like this.
These are the events that we have already delivered, both in Barcelona and in Piran, Slovenia.
And as far as the working groups will be a space for networking, capacity building and producing knowledge, such as policy papers and briefs, zooming in on specific EU, Mediterranean and international issues. Thematic projects are invited to join the working groups depending on their thematic focus. There are 4 working groups. The first one focused on area-based conservation, the second one on climate change adaptation and mitigation, the fourth one on ecosystem restoration and natural-based solution, and the third one on evaluating the socioeconomic value of biodiversity. The thematic projects that fall under our mission so far are 13, and we have made an initial distribution of them to the working groups. And all the other thematic projects that will be approved, they will be integrated and distributed also to the existing working groups. So we are here to advocate for you and with you for your project in order to amplify as much as possible the results and the benefits of your work. We're here to help make the most out of what the project it can be. You can find more information at the official site of the project, of course. And of course, feel free to ask any questions you may have. And we are here to make a fruitful collaboration and a very good start with our results. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to add up, thank you, Marilena. Just wanted to add up that we really expect that after this session, we will have so much more followers in our social media, so much more visits to our website. And we really want to share with you all our work and results, and hopefully have you as a thematic project anytime soon. Thank you for your attention. And again, thank you for the invitation to come here and talk about what we do.
Thank you, Elsa and Marilena and Cecilia. So we are, we have still some time for more questions, and we have already one question. I would like to know if the governance thematic projects, working groups, instruments, and tools support the applicants also before the submission of the applications or only after the project is approved. Thank you. Well, in general, we are talking about, just to put it that way, from the program side, the thematic community and institutional dialogue projects, so the governance projects are working with projects that are already there, so approved projects. Then what is concerning the community, building up a community, there might be context, but we do not have a specific mission to governance projects to support project applications. From our side, there's no, it's not thought to go into that direction. Elsa, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, just to make a comment. Yes. Of course, that besides what Christophe told, there are materials that are public, so you can always go to our website and have some information and inspiration, let's say. And also something that we can recommend, I don't know if Christophe may allow me to recommend this, is when elaborating your application, please take in consideration also the activities that you will carry out within the community.
Yeah, of course. So this is very regret. Of course, there is the material that we are producing. You should work with. This is, of course, what it's all about. I was referring to an official mission to support. This is what we do not have, but of course, you should work with the material. You should follow the governance projects and also other thematic projects with what they are doing. This is, of course, always helping for any submission in any way. I don't think we have, so far we have more questions.
You've been extremely clear, all of you.
Either we have been very clear or very confused.
Exactly.
So most participants are still with us, so I think at least the interest has not going down during the meeting. So we still wait, I don't know, for some time. Otherwise, we don't have to.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, I don't know if it is in the interest of the participants to also tell a little bit about the topics that the already approved thematics have so far. Just a few words in order to have an image, an idea other than just their names. The thematic projects that they are approved so far, as I said before, are 13, and we have 3 that are about protecting and restoring the marine environment. One that is about forest management, 2 about the reduction of anthropogenic pressures in coastal areas, 2 about solutions and tools for wetlands, 1 on soil carbon farming, and 4 about risk management of climate change impact, and more specifically, 1 focus on drought, 1 on floods, 1 on sea level rise, and 1 on wildfires. That's the already approved ones. In order to have a more specific idea what we have so far.
Thank you, Marilena.
Maybe we can start. In any case, the recording will be available on the program website.
Yes.
As well as the PowerPoint presentation, at least from the program and maybe also from the governance. if it's been agreed upon. Of course, the videos. So, and frequently asked question space, sorry, on the website of the program is also a place where you can put some more questions once you will have them, maybe tomorrow or in a few days, once you will have started working on your application form.
Yes, exactly. If you go to our webpage, you can find tools that are that could help you to prepare your project. You can have a forum for finding partners. You have frequently asked questions, and of course you have all the documents and tools that the program has produced so far, and also to highlight the result amplification strategy that is giving you an outlook on how you can work after with results and outputs of your projects to have a better impact of them. And now I see that we have some more questions about already approved thematic projects. Yes, as I've said, they will be published soon on the webpage. We also have already the thematic projects we have on the website. We have already a list of thematic projects that have been approved, and I will also add an information with everything that has been that will be published concerning this seminar. This is just one slide where you have already a list, the list of all the thematic projects. As Marilena has mentioned them, but of course it's important to get more information on what they are already dealing with. But it's just a matter, from what I know, it's a matter of days or just 1 week perhaps, that you will have the websites also, and then you can have the basic information already about the issues that they are dealing with. And then we have a question
on the courtesy application documents. It should be available very soon on the program website under the document and tools.
Yes, you have already go to the you have this section of calls. You can open it from here, but and you have documents. Documents are a section split between program, project, implementation, and project preparation. So all of this is more or less relevant for you. And there you have also the courtesy application documents. Okay, then, yes, that's the final one. Can you continue in some way an already implemented idea adapted in our area needs, to our area needs? Yes. This is if I guess, it looks to me a little bit like a transfer proposal. Of course, what you should have in mind always is the transnationality, because we are a transnational program. So if you have an already implemented idea, you could be a giver of, we call it a giver, and then there are takers outside. And if this is a transnational setting, this is perfectly in the scope of a transfer project, for example. Yeah, okay, now we have the, again, reference to the page. Okay, then I am thanking you very much for your interest in this call and in this mission. And I hope that you have great ideas, that it was somehow perhaps giving you also the opportunity to connect with other participants, to see a little bit more information